Between 1918 and 1976, 5 ships entered a stretch of ocean known as the Bermuda Triangle and completely vanished. No wreckage, no bodies, no explanation. What you're about to hear are the last known communications from these vessels before they disappeared into one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. Welcome to Visual Mind AI, where we explore the ocean's deepest mysteries. Today, we're diving into 5 real ships that vanished without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle. Let's begin. March 4th, 1918. The USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship, departed from Barbados heading to Baltimore. On board were 306 crew members and passengers. The ship was carrying over 10,000 tons of manganese ore. This wasn't just any ship. The Cyclops was 542 feet long, one of the largest naval vessels of its time. Captain George Worley, an experienced naval officer, was at the helm. The weather was clear. The ship was in good condition. Everything seemed normal, but the Cyclops never sent a distress signal. It never arrived in Baltimore. It simply disappeared. To this day, the USS Cyclops remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history not directly involving combat. 306 people gone. The U.S. Navy's official statement: the disappearance of this ship has been one of the most baffling mysteries in the annals of the Navy. Despite massive search operations, not a single piece of wreckage has ever been found. No life rafts, no debris, nothing. It's as if the ship was swallowed by the ocean itself. December 1st, 1925. The SS Cotopaxi, a bulk carrier, left Charleston, South Carolina, bound for Havana, Cuba. The ship was carrying a cargo of coal and had a crew of 32 men. 2 days into the journey, the Cotopaxi sent out a distress signal. The message was brief and chilling: experiencing heavy weather and listing badly. That was the last anyone ever heard from the SS Cotopaxi. What makes this disappearance particularly haunting is what happened next. Despite an extensive search operation covering thousands of square miles, the Coast Guard found absolutely nothing. No wreckage, no survivors, no bodies. But here's where it gets even stranger. In 2020, nearly 95 years later, a shipwreck was discovered off the coast of St. Augustine, Florida. Some believed it might be the Cotopaxi. However, after investigation, it was confirmed to be a different vessel. The real SS Cotopaxi, still missing. Still one of the Bermuda Triangle's unsolved mysteries. 32 men sailed into that storm. None of them ever came home. June 1950, the SS Sandra, a 350-foot freighter, was making what should have been a routine voyage from Savannah, Georgia, to Puerto Cabello, Venezuela. The ship was carrying 300 tons of insecticide. Captain Theodore Roosevelt and his crew of 28 had made this journey many times before. The weather forecast was good. Everything was routine. But the SS Sandra never reached its destination. And unlike the other ships, there wasn't even a distress call. No SOS. No radio communication. Nothing. When the ship failed to arrive, a massive search was launched. Coast Guard aircraft and vessels scoured thousands of miles of ocean. They found nothing. Not a single life jacket. Not one piece of cargo. Zero trace of the ship or its 28 crew members. What's particularly disturbing about the Sandra's disappearance is how suddenly it happened. In the 1950s, ships had modern radio equipment. If they were in trouble, they could call for help within seconds. The SS Sandra had that equipment, but they never used it. Why? Some experts believe the ship may have encountered a rogue wave. A massive wall of water that can appear out of nowhere and sink a vessel in seconds, giving the crew no time to react. But without wreckage, we'll never know for certain. The Sandra remains another ghost of the Bermuda Triangle. December 22nd, 1967. Just 3 days before Christmas. Dan Burak, an experienced hotel owner and sailor too, took his luxury cabin cruiser, the Witchcraft, out for an evening cruise off the coast of Miami. With him was Father Patrick Horgan, a Catholic priest. They planned to cruise just 1 mile offshore to get a better view of Miami's Christmas lights. It was supposed to be a short, safe trip. At 9 p.m., Burak radioed the Coast Guard. He said they had hit something, possibly a submerged object, and needed a tow back to shore. But here's the critical detail. He said the boat was not sinking. The Witchcraft was supposedly unsinkable. It was equipped with multiple safety features, including built-in flotation devices that would keep it afloat even if the hull was breached. The Coast Guard responded immediately. They were only 19 minutes away, but when they arrived at the exact coordinates Burak had given them, nothing. The Witchcraft was gone. The Coast Guard launched the most intensive search in its history. At that time, they searched for 6 weeks. They covered 24,000 square miles of ocean. They used ships, aircraft, and submarines. They never found a single trace. No debris, no life jackets, no bodies, not even an oil slick. How does a boat that's supposedly unsinkable in calm waters 1 mile from shore with an experienced captain vanish in less than 19 minutes? The Coast Guard officially listed the case as unsolved. Dan Burak and Father Horgan were never seen again. October 15th, 1976. The Sylvia L. Ossa, a 590-foot bulk ore carrier, departed Philadelphia carrying a cargo of coal bound for Brazil. This wasn't a small vessel. The Sylvia L. Ossa was a massive ship with a crew of 37 experienced seamen. It was equipped with modern navigation and communication equipment. The ship sent regular position reports as it sailed south. Everything was normal. The weather was good. The ship was in excellent condition. Then, somewhere west of Bermuda, the communications stopped. Others, the Sylvia L. Ossa had entered the Bermuda Triangle, and like the others before it, the ship simply vanished. When the vessel failed to arrive in Brazil, an international search was launched. The U.S. Coast Guard, Brazilian Navy, and commercial vessels all joined the effort. They searched for weeks. They found nothing. No wreckage, no oil slicks, no emergency beacons, no sign that a 590-foot ship carrying 37 people had ever been there. The Sylvia L. Ossa became the last major vessel to disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. Its disappearance remains officially unexplained. 37 families never got answers. 37 people who left port expecting a routine voyage never came home. 5 ships, 5 different time periods, 5 unsolved disappearances. What do they all have in common? They all vanished in the Bermuda Triangle without leaving a single trace. Scientists have proposed many theories. Rogue waves that can sink ships instantly, methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor that reduce water density, causing ships to sink, magnetic anomalies that interfere with navigation, violent weather patterns unique to this region. But none of these theories fully explain how a ship can disappear so completely that modern search technology can't find even a single piece of debris. The Bermuda Triangle covers roughly 500,000 square miles of ocean. Within this area, over 50 ships and 20 aircraft have vanished under mysterious circumstances in the last century. The official stance of the U.S. Coast Guard: they don't recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a particularly dangerous area. They claim the number of disappearances is proportional to the amount of traffic in the region. But tell that to the families of the 438 people who vanished on just these 5 ships alone. What really happened to these ships? Were they victims of natural phenomena we don't fully understand? Or is there something else lurking in those waters? Something we haven't discovered yet? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to explore more ocean mysteries, check out our video on the Mariana Trench. Link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to Visual Mind AI for more deep dives into the ocean's greatest mysteries. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our next video. Until next time, stay curious